Hello, my dears. How are you? Are you still waiting and watching? That seems to be what we're doing. This is Resilient Lives, touching base with you on this Thursday. The weekend is approaching, and I suppose that it is possible that we will continue watching and waiting to see the results of the election. And so I just want to make sure that we're continuing to take care of ourselves. So this little nugget is just to remind you that this is getting complicated. I mean, it's, this person is taking that person to court, and yet we have the pandemic. And so I just want to encourage you, along with myself, not to stress out. It's easy to say, and some people could say that they are not stressing out, but we have so many things that are going on. And hopefully, soon and very soon, we'll get the results so that we can move on in some kind of way. But for now, I just want to encourage you to stay well, to do some self-care. What do we do when all of this election stress and all of these different things are happening, and we hear that the COVID is surging? I mean, it's really surging, and it almost seems like this whole election stuff is diverting some of our attention from some important things. So continue to be safe, and remember to take care, because we want to bring our stress level down. We want to take time to remember who we are and to relax and recenter ourselves. You know how sometimes when you're using one of those apps, the GPS apps, and I don't know if you touch it or whatever, it gets uncentered. Well, we want to take some time to recenter ourselves. And what does that mean? Well, I think I'm talking about just helping us to find that place in ourselves, that calm, creating that environment that helps us to be calm in a state of chaos. That can be done. There was in one of the magazines, it was talking about a man who had regularly meditated, and he was in a airplane crash, and he was able to, after he got over the initial shock of being in an airplane crash, he was able to regain his awareness. And that speaks to the people who have spent a lot of time in meditating. And meditating is a form of training one's mind. And what that says is, if you have gotten into the habit of meditating and training your mind, that there is a quicker response, a quicker recovery response. That means, you get shook up, you get whatever, but then you remember, and then you go into action, but you are calmer because of the breath, or you call back the SOS signals that you had automatically sent to the brain. And so when we think about recentering ourselves, we're thinking about something similar to that. We're thinking about calling back the anxieties and the stress that we have been sending out, because we're hearing all of these different messages, go, stay, scream, disaster. But we must take charge of ourselves. We're all we got. And so in times like this, we want to kind of go within ourselves and do whatever, whether it's relaxation breath, but just speak to ourselves and recenter ourselves and realize that this too shall pass. And we are about to come upon the weekend, and for here in the Chicago area, we're having some wonderful weather, 70s. Wow. And so this would be a time to go out and walk or something, but we're looking at what to do and how to handle ourselves, because according to the medical experts, because of the surge of the disease, the pandemic, the surges are going up, and we need to be extra careful. We might need to go back into quarantine. I don't know what they're saying where you are, but they're certainly clamping down on a lot of things here in the Chicago area. So we are thriving, and we are doing some self-care because we are in a toxic environment, and we're in an environment that can possibly drain our energy. And so we're going to have to do those things that build us up. We're going to have to calm ourselves down, recenter ourselves through whichever ways we do that, and prepare ourselves to be well. We have to kind of go within ourselves and slow down. And I was laughing because I was thinking of a mindful exercise, and it was about mindfully eating. And so when I was doing this mindful eating exercise, I think it started out with eating a raisin or something, but you're supposed to look at it and smell it and feel it on your tongue. I mean, the whole point is to slow down and have a chance to use all of the senses, focusing slowly on this particular thing, and then eat it so that you know what you ate and you enjoyed it and you savored it. Well, after a while, I was just ready to just, eat that raisin and be done. Because sometimes we can be at such a pace that we can even eat and then look at our plate and say, well, where did my food go? So my thoughts are focusing on slow down, recenter, live mindfully eat, live, and think about the self-care. Think about the environment that we're in now that can cause stress. And think about what you'd like to do about it. I know you're going to handle it because you have been doing a great job, and I'm excited for you. And so we're going to have to continue on this path a little longer. Who would have thought that we would have been on this pandemic this long? Who would have thought then that we would be having all of these crazy things that are going on with the election? But we are thrivers, and we certainly can handle this. So take care and enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk again.